The trucking market has absolutely been cooking. This week is phenomenal so far. So if you don't want to miss out which areas have the best loads for your type of trailers, do not switch the channel. Let's get right into this with the dry vans. Here's a look at the USA map of the dry vans for today, current business day. As you can see, the darker the red in this, the better. The darker the blue, the worse. But just because the market shows like red hot does not mean it's red hot. We'll show some examples later. You got to look at the loads posted, the trucks posted ratio. Even then, it's not 100%, but there's a big gap between the two. Then you're going to be in a good spot. So let's start off with LA. LA has absolutely been cooking. Over 7,000 loads, 1,165 trucks. That's a very good ratio. It's a big gap. Still a lot of trucks, like a little bit too much for my liking in the market. But overall, for dry vans, I think the China ships are coming in. So the dry vans are picking up in LA. So it's definitely a pretty good market. Phoenix, it's a big area to cover. 3,100 loads, 215 trucks. I wouldn't be too excited about being there. If I was there, I'd probably try to get to LA and get a better load. And a good example of that is going to be like Reno market. You see 1,000 loads posted, 147 trucks. This is not something I would really trust. I would have considered it a hot market. The Northwest, obviously, still dead. It's been dead for the longest time. So nothing to get excited about there. Laredo market looks pretty good. 4,400 loads, 174 trucks. So you definitely should get a decent load out of there. Fort Worth market, 4,400 loads, 239 trucks, still very decent. Dallas, absolutely cooking with loads. Over 11,000 loads, 639 trucks. That's a super good ratio. I'm sure a lot of people got paid a lot of good money in Dallas today. Then Houston, same thing, smoking. 8,700 loads, 555 trucks. Arkansas has been doing super good for dry vans and flatbeds. Over 3,400 loads, 135 trucks. Memphis, 5,200 loads, 422 trucks. As you can see, like right here, I'm showing my mouse over here. This is the load to truck ratios. So this is what I'd be looking at when I'm trying to see if it's a good market or not. There's a huge gap between these two numbers. New Orleans market also doing super good. Montgomery, Alabama market, it could be better. Wouldn't be too excited over there. Atlanta cooking, over 10,000 loads, 1,115 trucks. Charlotte's been really good, 3,700 loads, 376 trucks. Ohio picked up tremendously. Cleveland area, 4,400 and 587. Columbus over 5,000 loads, under 600 trucks, super good. Indianapolis woke up a little bit. The PA has been like seriously good for dry vans. I know it's a backhaul state. The rates might not be as crazy. With that many loads posted, not that many trucks, you should get a decent rate out of there. Then we got over here the Harrisburg market. 4,300 loads, 400 trucks, good area. Northern Jersey has been killing it. 9,100 loads, 618 trucks. Philadelphia doing good as well. Chicago even jumped up today. I wouldn't get too excited about Chicago though. It's a lot of loads, but a lot of trucks. Chicago's a saturated market, pretty rough. But overall for dry vans, these are probably the hottest areas right now. So here's another look at it zoomed out. If you want to pause, check it out. Like I said, just because it's dark red does not mean necessarily hot. We went over all the hottest markets. But this week started off really good. Yes, last week was a holiday. So a lot of loads didn't move. Did they get pushed over to this week? So next week, we're really going to see how we're standing in the trucking industry. If it's really going to get better or not, since we're in quarter three. Quarter four is around the corner. So, so far, so good. I'm excited about this week. We did really good this week, so hopefully you guys did as well. So this is looking at the dry vans. Now let's jump into the flatbeds. Let's look at the flatbeds. This map is absolutely crazy. I'm not going to go over all these markets. It's take too long. I don't trust the Northwest regardless. Los Angeles area, 3,000 loads, 67 trucks. I'd say that's pretty decent. Phoenix right here, I wouldn't trust it. It's too big, but you are close to LA. Western Texas, I wouldn't trust that either. Fort Worth, nothing crazy. Dallas, nothing crazy. Houston, pretty good. Over 8,500 loads posted, 235 trucks. Louisiana, New Orleans, pretty decent there too. Northern Louisiana has been on fire. You got 5,300 loads, 16 trucks posted. Arkansas has absolutely been smoking it for flatbeds as well. Almost 9,000 loads, under 50 trucks. Oklahoma City, not too bad either for being in Oklahoma. 3,447 loads, 63 trucks. Memphis, 4,155. These are all pretty good markets. Then you got over here, look at this Jackson, Mississippi market. 6,100 loads, 25 trucks. Alabama, over 5,067. Northern Alabama, 4,850. These are all really good markets. Atlanta, over 4,000 loads, under 200 trucks. Charlotte, you know, halfway decent. But I mean, over here in the South, like pretty much wherever you go with your flatbed, you should be making decent money. It's absolutely nuts what's going on with them. Florida market, I never trust. Ohio too, you know, it's not looking the best, but it's not looking bad. Ohio's one of those states where it's like, you know, a lot of like industrial stuff, a lot of manufacturing, so you'd be decent to get loads for vans and flatbeds and reefers out of Ohio. So if you like bounce up from like the South to the like Midwest or East and back, you probably should be making pretty good money with the flatbeds. Pittsburgh area, not too bad. Buffalo area, not too exciting. Central PA, not too exciting. And over here, Jersey, not too exciting. So overall, those are the best markets you guys seen for the flatbeds. Let's jump in and check out the reefers. Okay, finally here we got the reefers. Taking a look at the map. Overall, got a decent amount of color to it, but does not mean anything until we actually check it out. So let's get into like California, Central Cali, looking good. Produce season still going on. You know, it could be better, but over 4,000 loads, 151 trucks. You know, Ontario, not the greatest. LA, pretty good, 3,100 loads, 121 trucks. For some reason, I just don't trust Northern Cali, but it's, you know, over 2,000 loads and not too many trucks as well for the reefers. Phoenix, nothing great. Fort Worth could be way better. And Dallas looking decent, 4,600 loads, 149 trucks. Arkansas, I mean, they got like a lot of chicken there. Over here is nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Memphis, halfway decent, still nothing too crazy. Decatur, Alabama market, nothing too crazy. This is a good example right here. When you look at 756 loads, 23 trucks, that's not a market that I would consider dark red. So it could be tricky. Then we got, let's go check out Atlanta. Atlanta looking pretty good. 4,500 loads, 442 trucks. Charlotte could be a lot better. Savannah market could be a lot better. Nothing special in South Carolina. Over here, you got Charlotte market, pretty decent, 2,300 and 182. Indianapolis jumping in the mix again. Indianapolis over 2,000 loads, 165 trucks. Western Michigan, you know, halfway decent. Still, numbers could be a lot better. Wisconsin, numbers could be a lot better. Northern Jersey, numbers could be a lot better. And numbers could be a lot better. You see, this is what I mean with the reefers. You can see how, like, the dark red doesn't necessarily mean that there's too much freight. So it's kind of tricky. And so it's always good to look at the market before you send your truck into it and make sure that, you know, there's a huge gap between the loads posted and the trucks posted. Even then it's not 100% accurate, but at least you're putting yourself in a better situation to get a better load for yourself. That was your hot market update for the dry vans, the reefers, and the flatbeds. The flatbeds do involve the actual flats, the step decks, and kind of stogas. For like more specialized equipment like RGNs and like double drops, you're probably better off at truck stop for that, not DAT. But at least now you can see like what areas are decent for your equipment. Please try to set your equipment in good areas so you can take advantage and get the most money possible for yourself. Have a good one.